Laura, you are one of Tira's senior coaches,
Yeah.
and we work with so many retailers to help them be better coaches, right? But you know that word carries a lot of weight, and people get a little bit scared when we say, okay, we're no longer managing, we're coaching behaviors. So tell us a bit about what does it mean to be a coach? How does it show up?
Yeah, it's really interesting, and that's what people say to me all the time. "I don't think I can coach. What is coaching?" And actually, between you and I, it's a conversation. So it's a conversation about growth, about learning and development, about performance. It's these conversations that we have every day with our friends and our family. So what do you want to do? What do you want to be? And actually coaching's really different. So I do a bit of coaching and mentoring. Mentoring is about telling somebody what they should be doing. Coaching is about empowering somebody to make the decisions themselves about their future. So you're asking really curious questions of them. So what do you want to do in 5 years? What does that look like? How do I facilitate that? How do I help you get there? All of those positive, reaffirming questions that somebody needs for that light bulb to go on to go, yeah, this is what I want. So in essence, it's sometimes a really scary word, and leaders say this, I don't think I can, but they absolutely can because they're having those conversations every day with their teams on the shop floor. So they absolutely can.
Yeah. So with that in mind then, do you think that anybody can do coaching on the shop
Yeah,
floor?
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
It's so easy to do when you get into a rhythm of it. There's literally no teaching. It's about being curious with people. It's about observing. And what you have to do is really have a watchful eye on how what you're doing. You have to reflect on your own behaviours
Mm.
in order to see it in others. And what I mean by that is you have to be present on the shop floor and have your finger on the pulse about what's going on. So your part-timers, your full-timers, your assistant managers, watch them, observe them,
Mm.
find out about them, get to know them. What are their strengths? What are their areas of development? Because that's how you will help them grow and develop. So ask questions of them, get to know them.
Yeah.
That is coaching. Anybody can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it.
Oh, love that. So tell us about the benefits of coaching then. How does it all come together?
So one of the benefits of coaching is that you can recognize development within your team. So you may have a part-timer who you think might not want to have a long-term career in retail, but you don't know that unless you have a conversation with them. You ask them, what do you want out of this job? Where do you see yourself? How can I help you get there? You know, um, and I think that's really key is just to start having those like micro conversations with people to just get to know them. And so for me, the benefits are longer term in your teams. So you get into a kind of coaching cadence where you find out about your teams and what they want. And then in the back of your mind, you can start to think, well, my assistant manager might be going to this store, or they might be growing into another store. But I know that this other person wants to become the next assistant manager. So you start really coaching them and showing them how to be a leader. And that's how you get your talent and your progression within your store. You're empowering them to make those decisions, to take control of their futures. And that's that's ultimately what you want in your store.
Love that. And the last thing I'd love to know is we've come across it in the past with a couple of our clients, and they've had this belief almost that you need to diarize coaching moments
Yeah.
and give time to
I
coaching.
know, yeah.
Is that true? Is it false?
No.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so, people love a process. They feel safe in that process. Coaching can be a conversation on the shop floor.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be strict appraisal, it doesn't have to be in a kind of supervision or a learning development or anything like that. I mean, it can, but ultimately, the biggest growth comes from the smallest conversations with people on that shop floor. So no, people don't need to make notes or write down. There is safety in that, don't get me wrong, but that can ultimately feel quite, disingenuous, writing down those things, actually just actively listening to someone. Like you and I are having a conversation now, we're engaged in it, we're making eye contact, I'm getting to know you, you're getting to know me. That is coaching. That is part of it. It's the relational leadership part of it, which is the most benefit that you'll ever have. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you, Laura.